will be loyal to him and who share his viewpoints. Now, I'm not saying that I agree with all of his viewpoints. I'm just saying that I understand, okay? If I already was in this position one time and got betrayed by many, then I don't want to do that again. And on another note, it's really a shame what they're trying to do or what they're doing to Rudy Giuliani. They're trying to take away all of his money. Let's continue.
A lot of pushback.
Just looking back at the investigation